Hey there, Dustin. It's your wonderfully talented, smart, and beautiful big sister here. What do you think you're up to? I hear you got your own place and moved out of Mom and Dad's house a few weeks ago. How come you haven't had a housewarming party? I need to inspect your new place and see if it reaches my standards. I can't have my brother living in some squalid little dungeon basement apartment with no running water and a hole in the floor where the toilet should be, can I?
What makes you think I would live somewhere as unhygienic as that all sounds, Brittany? And while we're asking the real questions, why do you think I would invite you to my housewarming party? I didn't have a housewarming party, but if I did, do you think I'd ask you? The last party I threw, you crashed with a bunch of your popular friends and ruined it.
Oh, come on. You can't call that a party. You guys were playing board games in the basement. We absolutely had to try and liven that up a little bit, didn't we? And that's the whole reason I have to check what your new apartment is like. You seem to really love basements, so I wouldn't be surprised if you chose to live in one. But seriously, you graduated college more than 2 years ago, and you've had a full-time job for most of that time. How come it took you so long to move out? I thought you were going to stay at home sponging off Mom and Dad forever or something. I bet now that you're finally gone, our parents are so happy they don't have to see you and smell you every day.
Actually, I wanted to move out a year ago and Mom and Dad asked me not to because they wanted someone around the house while Dad was going through that thing with his knee.
Whatever. It's been over for ages. You're just using that as an excuse for being lazy, aren't you? Or is it because you weren't earning enough money to move out until now? I can't believe with your prestigious college background and your fancy degree, you're still working for some grimy little NPO with no money. Did you even get a bonus this year? I know your company is small and some kind of charity thing, right? You must still get a bonus, though. It would be weird if you worked all year and never got any bonus at the end of it. How much was it, though? Come on, Dustin, I'm interested. Did you get $2,500? Wasn't it even that much? Is that why you're not responding? Because your bonus is so tiny that you're embarrassed to tell me exactly how much it was?
Brittany, you haven't messaged me in months. You didn't even remember my birthday, which was last month, by the way. Now you're messaging me to try and find out if I got more bonus money than you, aren't you? You still haven't given up trying to find out how much I earn. I told you when you were trying to guess my salary that I'm not going to share that information with you. I haven't even told Mom and Dad because I know if I do, you'll wheedle the information out of one of them eventually. Why do you need to know how much I earn or what my bonus is? It makes no difference to you at all. You just want to prove that you're better than me, don't you? Well, I don't know why you're bothering. You know I work for an MPO, so what makes you think I'd get a bonus anyway? Even if I did, it wouldn't be as much as $2,500.
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't be. I don't know why you work for such a useless organization. It only exists because richer people than you give you donations and help you stay afloat. Without those people, you'd be bankrupt in seconds.
I guess that's partly true, but the company does just fine. We make money from merchandise sales as well as donations. Sure, charities can't afford to pay their executives huge bonuses, but they're run by people who don't really care about that kind of thing. That's why they work. Besides, at your age, you should realize it's rude and unkind to make fun of people for earning less than you, especially when it's a family member. It's crazy that I, as your younger brother, should have to remind you to be a nicer person all the time, don't you think?
Oh my word, Dustin. You're such a loser. Can you please drop the holier-than-thou act? Everyone knows you need money to live, just like the rest of us. You're only saying you don't care about how much you earn because you know I earn more than you, and you hate to lose to a girl. Tell me you're not jealous that I got a $5,000 bonus this year. I probably could have even made more if I tried. I was one of the best brand managers in my department this year, but I didn't try very hard.
Okay, I'm not jealous of you. I wouldn't want to do your job, even if I got a huge bonus every year, because it is such a soul-destroying, cynical thing to do. You know your company operates massive sweatshops in poor Southeast Asian countries, don't you? You're always coming way down on the list of ethical clothing brands because the overseas employees work in dangerous conditions for very little pay. And you're messaging me about bragging about your bonus and how you're making the most money out of all of us? It is disgusting, Brittany, okay? I don't want to hear about it. Did you have another reason for contacting me? Because I can't believe that the only reason you would text me was to make me this mad again.
Not really. It's just so funny when you get all worked up about poor working conditions and stuff. But I just honestly wondered how much you made from your bonus. Why is it so wrong for me to be curious about my little brother's job? Are you really not going to tell me what you make?
No, I know we're siblings, but we obviously really don't see eye to eye about money stuff and moral standings. So why don't we just agree not to talk about it? Otherwise, I just don't see how we're going to get along in the future. Anyway, I think soon even your company is going to have to think about equaling out how much it pays its overseas and US workers. Maybe you should try to keep up with the times and help encourage your company to make some changes.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Dustin. Nobody really cares about how much people in the factories make as long as we're earning enough here at home. But you're right, we probably shouldn't talk about this stuff if we want to get along. You're so boring and annoying when you start talking like this. Let's just agree to disagree and leave it at that. One day you'll realize that you can't eat moral standards, and then you'll wish you'd paid more attention to how much you were earning.
Okay, well, let's see how that works out. I'm glad you've agreed to not talk about work anyway. If you're done talking now, I'm gonna hop into the shower. I've had a long day and I've just got back from a run. Bye, Brittany. I'll talk to you later.
Hold up. There is actually something I wanted to tell you. Don't get in the shower just yet.
Are you serious? Why don't you just tell me what, instead of wasting my time annoying me about money and stuff? I hope you're not gonna say you've got a new job selling cigarettes and alcohol to preschoolers or something. Hurry up, Brittany. I have stuff to get on with.
Okay, fine. I'm here to tell you that I'm officially getting married to Chris. Congratulate me, little bro. We chose a date for the wedding already, and I picked out my dress and everything. You absolutely have to come. I'm going to make a bride speech. I know it's not traditional, but you know how I love to be a trendsetter, right? What do you say? Will you be there? I promise it'll be entertaining.
You guys finally set a date? Well, that's great news. I'm happy for you, Britt. Congratulations. I definitely will be there. It would be really weird if I wasn't.
You've met Chris, I know, but let me just remind you a little bit about him. I'm so excited, so I have to tell everyone how great he is. He's a couple years older than me. He'll be 30 soon, but as you know, I'm only 28, which is a great age for a woman to be getting married these days. It's not too late for me to start a family, but I've already got myself to a great position career-wise, so even if I get pregnant, I'll totally be able to keep my awesome job. But yeah, you know Chris is totally hot, and he goes to the gym 3 times a week. He was on the swim team at college, but now he plays golf at weekends. He graduated from a really good college, and he works in the same company as I do, but in a different department. He earns about the same as I do, which, you know, is a lot.
Yeah, I know Chris. We've met a few times. I don't think I needed the whole rundown on his charms, but I guess that makes you happy.
Well, I'm just reminding you all about your new brother-in-law's good points so you can tell all your coworkers how lucky your sister is.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think I'll be rushing to tell all my buddies about how my new brother-in-law is totally hot, as you put it.
Fine, whatever. You're just being jealous again because you don't have a girlfriend. But I'm not surprised because you spend all of your time either at work or playing board games. Maybe you and Chris could hang out and he could give you some pointers on how to impress the ladies. But actually, maybe not. We don't have enough space at the wedding for you to bring a girlfriend. Best for us if you just stay single for now. I'm so sorry to go on like this, but it's just difficult not to talk about Chris once I get started. He is the most amazing person I have ever met.
If Chris is so amazing, why don't you put your phone down and talk to him? You've spent all this time messaging me when I don't even want to talk to you. Imagine that you could have been spending that time talking to and admiring your handsome fiancé instead of wasting my time. Doesn't Chris get mad if you just sit on your phone and ignore him?
No, he's not even here right now. He's at the gym, so it's no problem. Did I mention that he's 6 foot tall? And he's got amazing abs. For our honeymoon, we're going to Bali to learn how to surf and scuba dive. When we get back, we'll be so tanned you won't even recognize us. We've already got the vacation booked in and everything. Mom and Dad are paying for pretty much everything because they've been saving for my wedding. But Dad said they don't want to go over budget, so anything that we want to have that's extra, we'll have to pay for ourselves. But it's fine, since we both make so much money, unlike you, my dear brother. I'm worried you won't even be able to afford to get married. Even if you do meet someone, you'll have to try and meet a rich girl. But a rich girl probably won't want to marry someone like you with your terrible pay and weird hobbies.
How about you don't worry about who wants to marry me? We can agree to not talk about that either, if you don't mind. You really don't have the right to decide what I should do with my life anyway. I might not want to get married. I'm perfectly happy with how my life is going right now. I work long hours, but I still have a good social life. I just went to a concert last night, actually. And I love my job, because I know that what I'm doing is helping to make the world a better place for the future. Hopefully, if you do have kids, they'll appreciate that people like me try to make sure that they still have a planet to live on in 50 years' time.
Okay, Dustin, you're getting annoying again. I know you think like that because how would you keep on living if you didn't have that motivation? You're just sad that you probably won't have children of your own and you're making excuses for yourself. I've heard it all before.
I might not have children because I might choose not to have them. But I might change my mind, I don't know. But it's none of your business anyway. You can just get married to whoever you want and not make judgments about how I live my life, okay?
I am not making judgments, Dustin. I'm just telling the truth. You're so sensitive. Can't you tell the difference between someone who's being judgmental and this? Which is just a little bit of sibling banter. You're totally overreacting right now. Oh, and Mom said that you're still driving that battered old Jeep you got when you graduated college? It's a second-hand car, and you've had it for years now. Aren't you going to get rid of it and get a new car soon? It's pretty bad if you can't afford to drive a new car, isn't it?
Do you still think that you're not being judgmental when you say stuff like that? What does it matter to you what car I'm driving? You're not going to be riding in it anyway, are you? There's nothing wrong with my Jeep. It wasn't that old when I got it, and the mileage is super low. It's got years of life left in it. I'm not going to buy a new car just for the sake of it. I wouldn't even drive a car if I could get by without one. At least having a second-hand one is a little bit better for the environment.
It's better for the environment? Oh, when are you ever going to stop whining like a little kid about the freaking environment? I'm sorry. I just can't help looking out for you. You're my little brother, and I want you to be respectable. People are always going to judge you if you drive around in an old heap of junk like that. You should see Chris's car. It's a sports car.
Yeah, I have seen Chris's car. I don't think he could find one that wastes more gas. But you do whatever works for you guys.
It's about keeping up appearances, Dustin. No one is ever going to take you seriously once they've seen you driving that thing. If you want people to respect and trust you, you have to show them that you're capable. That's an important part of making an impression, and you should listen to me if you ever want to get a better job or a girlfriend.
Okay, well, I'll bear that in mind if I want to get a brainless, soul-sucking job like yours. Look, I want to go and get into the shower now. Talking to you has totally ruined the good mood I was in after my run. I'm done responding to you. Congratulations on your wedding plans. I'll see you the day of, probably.
Fine. See ya, loser.
Seriously, Brittany, I don't even know what to say to you right now. What happened today? What is wrong with you? You're supposed to be my big sister, but your behavior to me today was totally out of line. I think you need to do some serious thinking about your priorities.
I don't understand why you're so mad, Dustin. Yeah, I'm your sister, and I can say what I like about you, can I? Besides, nobody even asked for your opinion about my behavior today, so you can forget about it. I am not interested.
But this is serious. Can you just be quiet and listen to someone else for once? You can't just belittle me and make me feel like a piece of dirt all day like that, especially in front of people who are going to become your family. I'm glad you invited me to the lunch with Chris's parents. It was important that everyone got to meet before the wedding. But you should feel ashamed of how you treated me in front of them.
I don't get it. Why should I be ashamed of my behavior? I can see why I would be ashamed of you, because compared to everyone else, you're pretty much worthless, but I don't see what I have to be embarrassed for. I'm earning an excellent salary at a huge multinational clothing brand. If I introduced you a bit differently, it was just because you are in a different situation to everyone else. All I was trying to do was make sure Chris's family know who you are and what you do. Then they can form their own opinions about you. I was just trying to be helpful so we don't get into any misunderstandings down the line. Like, what if after we're married, Chris's family want to invite our family on a joint vacation? You won't be able to come because you can't afford that stuff, right? If everyone knows that in advance, you'd be able to avoid the embarrassment of having to turn down the invitation.
That was your way of being helpful, was it? I don't think it achieved the exact effect that you wanted. Did you even plan what you were going to say before you said it? Did you see the look on Chris's parents' faces when you did what you'd done? They were so shocked that you could say those things about your own brother.
I'm sure they weren't that shocked about me. They were probably just upset to discover you have such a crappy job at useless charity that achieves nothing.
My job is not crappy, and the charity is certainly not useless. You would know that if you bothered to find out about what we've done this year. Instead, you just make assumptions based on your own prejudices. Can't you just read a room at all? Nobody was laughing at your jokes. Not even Chris. He just looked uncomfortable.
I don't think so. Whenever I looked at Chris, he was smiling and laughing with me. I think you need your eyes checking, Dustin. People weren't looking uncomfortable because of me. If they were, it would have been because of you. Chris's parents were probably just wondering if they were supposed to treat my failure little brother as part of their own family. Maybe they were afraid you'd start asking them for donations in the middle of lunch or something.
Why would I think a family dinner is the right place to start asking people for donations? It was the first time I'd ever met these people. Look, not everyone is like you, Brittany. Some people have a conscience and don't like to see people being verbally abused during lunch. I just don't understand what I did to deserve any of this. How is my existence bothering you so much? If you don't like what I do, just don't mention it to people. But I'm a humanitarian and that's something to be proud of, so I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not trying to ask you for money or make you change your lifestyle, so why don't you just do likewise and leave me alone?
Because it's just so annoying to see you living your life in such an embarrassing way. Think about it, Dustin. You only have one life to live, right? Why would you spend it scraping by on a tiny salary by yourself and having to budget everything in your sad little life? It's such a mean and boring way to live, isn't it? You'll miss out on so many cool experiences if you carry on like this. I was just hoping that if I put more pressure on you by calling you out sometimes, you might feel motivated to try a little harder in life. Goodness knows Mom and Dad aren't going to push you to succeed more. They gave up on any chance of that years ago. I know my way is the right way. If you knew that, could you stand by and watch your family member making all these mistakes with his life?
You are talking complete garbage, Brittany. You need to stop taking your definition of success and imposing it on other people's lives.
You just don't get it, do you? There's no such thing as a definition of success. Success is defined by how much money you make and how comfortable your life is. Just take a look at how I live compared to you. I can walk into restaurants where the menus don't even have prices on them, and the waiters bring you whatever they want and charge whatever they want. But I guess if you want to be stuck in a poorly paying dead-end job for the rest of your life, then you can be my guest. I'm only trying to help you out of this rut you got yourself into when you joined the student council and started getting all these ideas about changing the world. You're only one person, Dustin. You can't escape the system, so you might as well just do what you can to beat it.
I don't care about being financially successful. I don't think it's as important as helping underprivileged people live better lives. But I realize you and I are different, and I'm not trying to change you. I'm fine with people who don't think the same way as I do. Can't you do the same for me? Just leave me to live my life how I want to. If you want to play the system and earn as much money as you can, fine. You do that and more power to you.
I would just leave you to it if I didn't think you were secretly jealous of my money and my fiancé. I don't for 1 second believe that you're happy just being poor. You're just using that as an excuse so you don't have to work hard. I think you can change, and I think you'll be happier if you do. All you have to do is listen to me for a minute.
You're asking me to listen to you, but you're not actually listening to me, are you? I am happier this way. I don't want money or fame. I have no intention of leaving my current job for one that pays better because I love what I do.
No way. You just don't want to do the work. Whatever. You clearly don't have the guts to try for something better. So I guess you're just going to be content with being a loser for the rest of your life. You're scared. But that's understandable. Even if you tried your hardest, I doubt you could ever get to where I am right now. You might be smart, but you don't have the common sense and people skills that you need to succeed in the real world.
What do you mean by loser? I'm happy. Does your definition of a loser include everyone that doesn't make a lot of money, even if they're content that way? There are a lot of people in the world that you would classify as losers with those standards.
There are a lot of losers in the world. Look at all the people living on the streets and in tiny apartments with their whole family sleeping in one room. There's an insane number of people in this world. Do you really think all of them can be winners like me? Do you think all of them even deserve to succeed like I do? Some of us have to be losers, Dustin, and I guess that means you too.
You know, you seem pretty confident that you've got it all figured out, but I'm pretty sure that most people in the world are not aspiring to become like you. It's like I said, you have your own ideas about what defines success, and it's not necessarily the right thing for everyone. I just really wish that you would stop trying to make me into someone I'm not. And once you're done with that, also stop trying to make me feel bad for being who I am.
Well, it's your life, Dustin. I can't force you to change. It doesn't really matter to me how much money you make. It's not going to be my problem. We both know I tried my best to make you understand. You'll just have to remember that even if you're poor and starving in your old age, you can't come crying and begging for me to help you out. And by the way, if you want to come to my wedding, you should start saving up now. It's going to be really fancy and expensive. You'll be completely out of place if you turn up in your cheap suit. I don't want you to embarrass yourself again.
You're kidding me. I thought Dad said you wouldn't be able to go over budget unless you were using your own money.
Well, guess what? We're using our own money as well as what Dad has saved.
Are you still holding the reception at the same place you were planning to?
No, we've changed it to this really amazing country estate in Scotland. They suddenly had a cancellation and we were still on the waiting list. I'm in the middle of rewriting the invites right now. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. We're going to have bagpipes playing and Chris's groomsmen are all wearing kilts. You know, Chris's family are originally from Scotland, right? He still has distant relations there. They have their own tartan pattern and everything. So save up because you'll need to buy an airplane ticket and a new suit. It's going to be legendary. Nobody we know will be able to remember a more amazing wedding day.
Oh, Lord, Brittany, are you serious? So all of your guests will have to travel to Scotland to see you get married? Oh, that is insane. Have Mom and Dad agreed to it? What about Chris's parents?
Yeah, everyone is fine with it. Mom and Dad have already booked their flights. But there isn't going to be a problem with everyone traveling there to celebrate with us because we're not planning to invite any poor people. And you don't have to worry about the food because we're paying for all of that. They have a Michelin-starred chef. It's going to be so good. Just wait for your invitation and get your flight booked in. If you text Mom, she'll tell you what flight they're booked on. Maybe you can travel with them. Chris and I are going a bit earlier to prepare and enjoy ourselves.
You're out of control, Brittany. Is this in addition to your honeymoon in Bali? How can you spend all of that money on your wedding celebrations and still have a clear conscience?
Well, it's easy when you have plenty of money to spend. I don't feel guilty or even worry about it at all. Anyway, I have to go now because Chris wants to talk about choosing our wedding rings, and I haven't even finished the invites. I'm going to choose something with diamonds to match my engagement ring. Don't you think that would be nice?
Sure. I'm sure whatever you pick will be really nice and tasteful and not a ridiculous waste of money at all. But I'm glad to hear this conversation will be over soon.
Well, I can't spend much less than $15,000 on my wedding ring, can I? I'd be embarrassed to go around with just a plain gold band or something. Besides, gold isn't really my color. My engagement ring is platinum with clear diamonds and blue diamonds. I'll need something that matches. I know what you're thinking. You think I shouldn't spend so much money on material things when there are people starving in refugee camps all over the world? Well, I'm sorry, but I value my happiness too, and I don't know those people, so why should I care if they starve or not?
It is up to you what you spend your money on. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, remember?
Good, because I don't need your high and mighty judgment on my one and only wedding day. And you should be happy. This will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for you too. You'll probably never see such a beautiful wedding ring or dress again after this, and you'll probably never go abroad again.
It's not likely that I'll ever buy such an expensive wedding ring, you're right. But that doesn't bother me. I don't know why it bothers you. Anyway, Brittany, the reason I messaged you was to ask you to not talk about me and my job in front of other people like you did today. It was disrespectful, and it made us all look bad.
Oh my god, okay, loser. I'll try not to mention it at the wedding. Haha, bye. Morning, Dustin. It's morning there, right? We're in Scotland, and it's the middle of the day. It's so weird here. Everything is old and kind of cold, even though it's summer. The venue's actually breathtakingly stunning, though. You wouldn't believe it. We visited yesterday, but Chris is still feeling kind of jet lagged, so we're just hanging out in the hotel today. Are you all packed?
Hey, Britt, yeah, I've just finished packing. I'll sort the last few things later today, and then I'm heading to the airport with Mom and Dad tomorrow morning. Is it really cold there? Do you think I should put an extra sweater in?
Maybe, but you're not wearing a sweater to my wedding. I don't want you turning up looking like an old man and embarrassing me even more.
Brittany, that is not very nice. Aren't we done with all of that nastiness?
I guess not. But I'm just telling you the truth. I always want what's best for you, and it really would be best for you if you dressed better.
You know what? Once this wedding business is over and you're married to Chris, feel free to just never talk to me again. You don't have to invite me to any of your family parties if you don't want to. I'll be quite happy to miss out on all of that stuff. I'm sure you and Chris will manage all right without me, and you should probably just focus on each other's happiness, right?
Okay, no problem. I don't really want to talk to you that badly anyway. I've got plenty of friends and acquaintances to talk to without worrying about you. And when we're married, Chris and I will probably only have time for each other.
That's great. We're agreed then. But don't you have more important stuff to take care of before your wedding? I thought you went over there early so that you could take care of the last-minute arrangements like flowers and stuff. Do you really have time to just lay around in your hotel room like this, just texting me?
It's fine. We've done everything we needed to do today. Didn't I tell you it's already the afternoon here? You're so dumb, Dustin. Also, I'm very good at planning and managing my time. It's one of the skills I've learned at work, so I have plenty of time to relax and focus on having a great time for my wedding celebrations.
Well, that's good. Perhaps instead of texting me, you could just go out and enjoy the Scottish culture or scenery.
But there's actually something super important I need to discuss with you. Chris and I were talking yesterday. We decided it would be best to ask you not to come to the wedding after all. As a huge favor to us, obviously. Actually, you could call it your wedding gift to us. I hope you understand how we feel. It would be really embarrassing for us if you were there, and we just want to have the best possible time.
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm not sure if I can make it any clearer for you, Dustin. We don't want you to come. You don't make that much money, and you don't fit in at all with our other guests. Everyone is from very well-off, classy families. If you came, you'd clash so hard with all of our friends. Everyone would feel so awkward with you around, and you don't want me to talk about you and your job to other people, right? So if I can't explain you to people, what are they going to think? I know my friends would never let me live it down if I had you just sitting in the corner looking drab and ugly at my wedding. It'd kill the vibe completely.
I don't get why you think I'd kill the vibe at your wedding. You told me I had to look the part, so I bought a new suit. How are you going to explain this to Mom and Dad? They are going to go crazy at you.
But they're not going to be mad because you're going to do me a huge favor and say you got the flu and you can't fly, okay? Then Mom and Dad won't have to worry about me not liking you or whatever.
Are you serious right now? This is insane. I bought a round trip to frickin' Europe for this wedding, and now you're saying that I'm not invited? Are you out of your mind? Not only that, but I'm your only sibling. Don't you think it would be a bit weird if everyone was at your wedding except your own brother?
That's why you have to lie and say you're sick. Then if anyone accuses me of not inviting you, I have an excuse and I don't look like the bad guy.
I really don't know what you're trying to achieve with this. I've already packed my suitcase. The flight is less than 24 hours away, so there is no chance I'm going to be able to get my money back. Why did you make me spend all of this money just to waste it? It is such a pain in the butt.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I never thought you'd even book the ticket. I thought you wouldn't be able to afford it, so you'd refuse to come. It's one of the reasons I suddenly decided to have the wedding in Scotland, actually. I thought it was too expensive for you. But it's no big deal. I'm sure you can get your money back if you kick up a fuss about it. Didn't you get travel insurance? If you're sick, you might be able to claim the flight back on insurance. It's not like anyone is going to be sad that you're not at the wedding anyway.
But I'm not sick, am I? I can't claim that on my travel insurance because that's fraud. I wouldn't be able to get a diagnosis to prove that I can't travel. You are unbelievable, Brittany. You're too selfish to even think about how this crazy decision is going to affect me. Plus, you asked me to come over and take extra BTS photos, didn't you? Don't you need someone to do that anymore?
No, of course not. That was a stupid idea I thought of to try and keep you out of the way. When I was talking to my bridesmaids about it, Emily pointed out that you'd actually be more in the way if you were doing that. Like, you'd have to be around while we were getting our makeup done and stuff. That's gross. I don't want you in the room while I'm getting ready. One of my girls is going to take the behind-the-scenes photos. I forgot she's doing photography for a hobby for just as long as you have. You're not that special, Dustin.
I thought you said my hobbies were weird, but I guess it's okay if one of your girls does it. It's nice to see you still have double standards.
Whatever, Dustin. You should be grateful that I even offered to let you come to my wedding in the first place. Can't you see how much trouble I've been to just to make sure you didn't come? And now you're making me stoop to the level of personally asking you not to come, which I've done very politely, I think. You have to understand that there's no way I could ever have you at my wedding after the way you act, and the way you've spoken to me recently. After the lunch where you met Chris's parents, you sent some incredibly rude text messages to me. Don't you remember?
How are you suggesting that I was the one being rude to you that time? I was only asking you to stop belittling me in front of your in-laws. You know, weddings are not just about the two people promising to stay together forever. It's supposed to be about two families coming together and celebrating the beginning of a new family connection.
Well, everyone in our family that matters will definitely be there. And they won't even notice that you're not there, so relax.
Okay, sure. I wonder if that's true. I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like a very family-oriented thing to do to uninvite your brother right before the wedding. I wonder what Chris's family would think if they found out. You clearly don't think they'd like it, which is why you've asked me to lie, right? It doesn't make sense. Why invite me in the first place if you didn't want me to come? Are you trying to pretend to be a better person for your in-laws' sake? That kind of thing suggests that you know you're doing something wrong here.
Not really. I just felt obligated to invite you because you're my brother and it's expected. But if I don't want you to come, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, what am I getting out of it anyway? I'm just paying for your dinner and everything so you can embarrass me? I believe that in this world, everyone has to have something to offer. If you don't, you're just a freeloading nuisance. You're just not that interesting. You wouldn't be bringing anything of value to the wedding, so I don't think you should be offended if you're not invited.
You are an awful person, Brittany. The only reason you don't think I have anything interesting to bring to your party is because you've never bothered to really get to know me. Sure, you'll be congratulated by your friends and family at your wedding, but you're also supposed to be looking after your guests, right?
Of course, I know that, and there's no need for me to get to know you. You're my brother. I've known you all my life, and you've never been worth anything. This is going to be the biggest and best wedding of all time, Dustin. People are going to be so well looked after, they'll be talking about it for years. It'll be the yardstick they'll measure all future weddings against. And you won't be there because you're not worth the effort. Besides, I don't think you'll be able to manage the kind of congratulations gifts that everyone else will be bringing, and that would be embarrassing for you. You can't just turn up empty-handed to a wedding, you know. I'm pretty sure everyone else will be making gifts well into the thousands. Maybe if you really want to come and could send $30,000 my way and see where that gets us.
Oh, wow. That's what this was about? You know, I bet it took you a week to come up with that idea, didn't it?
Well, it's not just me. Chris is doing the same thing. He has a cousin that works as a pottery maker or something lame like that. It's so drab. But he said if she has enough money to give us a big gift, she can come. So I thought I'd tell you the same thing.
Oh, so it wasn't even your idea. You're just copying a cruel plan that Chris had. You are the absolute worst, you know? But at least it sounds like you and Chris have the same values. You deserve each other.
Yeah, we do think alike. I'm glad we found each other. He's the perfect guy for me. We both think that if someone doesn't have at least $60,000 in savings at all times, then they're probably not our kind of people and aren't who we want to associate with. But without losers like you and the pottery weirdo, we'll have a great time at our wedding.
Sure you will. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Are you sure you won't regret uninviting your brother like this?
Not at all. As long as you follow my instruction and tell everyone you're super sick with the flu or something, then everything will turn out just perfect. The thing is, there are a lot of high-level executives coming from our company. Chris is in line for a promotion next year, so we wanted to invite those guys and impress them. That's the biggest reason we don't want to run the risk of embarrassment by having unpresentable guests like you around. And I was thinking, if we impress them enough, maybe they'll think about giving me a raise as well.
I'm not sure how it works, but I wish you the best of luck with it. The same for Chris. I hope he gets a promotion and gets a nice big raise.
Thanks, but it's pretty much decided already. Also, while we're at it, and you seem to be in a reasonable mood, can you promise not to talk to Chris if he ever sees you out in public? I know your office is kind of in the same vicinity as ours. I don't want you running into him and acting like you know him. That's fine, right? It's not like you guys have anything to talk about anyway. You don't like the same stuff at all.
Right. Did Chris ask you to say that, or did you decide that on his behalf? You're both such nice people, I can't guess which one of you would bring that up.
I thought of it, and Chris agreed. We were talking about that stuff on the plane on the way over. We're also wondering what we should do about Mom and Dad after we get married. I mean, there's no way we can have our wedding without them, but once that's out of the way, I don't know what to do.
What do you mean, what to do? You don't have to do anything about Mom and Dad. After the wedding, just go back to your house and write them a thank you card.
But what about after that? I don't want them coming over to our house all the time without being invited. What if they start to annoy Chris? I'm trying to figure out a new plan. I thought maybe I could just tell them not to come over unless they're invited, and not to invite us to any events. I just don't want to get caught up in always hanging out with the same old friends and family.
I don't get it. Why do you think they would come over all the time and invite you to a bunch of stuff you don't want to go to? I think you're overthinking it. I don't even know why it would annoy Chris to have his parents-in-law around sometimes. Why don't you just forget about it, and if they invite you to something that you don't want to go to, just make any old excuse and don't go.
I just don't want Mom and Dad to think they're on the same level as us now that I'm getting married to Chris and he's going to be a manager at work. It'll be embarrassing for us to have Mom and Dad over when we have other friends there, and I'm not going to their boring parties anymore.
You're despicable, Brittany. You should enjoy spending time with your parents. They've loved you and looked after you your whole life. Is this how you plan on repaying them for their kindness? You're just gonna cut them out of your life once you're married?
It makes sense that now I'm moving up in the world, I should be thinking about leaving behind all of the people that drag me down, right? I don't want Mom and Dad hanging around in case they start thinking we'll lend them money or do favors for them.
So even if they do need to borrow money or need a favor from you, you're not going to do anything about it? What about if you get into trouble somehow and you need their help? Do you think they'd help you after you cut them out of your life? I really don't understand you. You are the most selfish person I've ever met. Are you even going to tell mom and dad that stuff to their face, or will you just gradually let them down so they stop calling you?
What does it matter? It's going to have the same effect eventually. I'm not asking you if you think this is the right thing to do or what you would do or anything. I don't need your amazing moral judgment about it. I was just talking to you about it because I wanted to know if you had any ideas of how to avoid offending them too much, but you obviously don't. Anyway, don't say anything about this to them because I don't want them to hate me before the wedding. So, can you afford to send $10,000 as a wedding gift to us or not? I need to know because the catering company needs final numbers today.
Absolutely not. I thought it was $30,000 anyway.
Well, you obviously can't afford that. Just forget about it. I'll see you some other time.
I hope not. And after all the things that you've said to me in the last few months, there's no way I'd get you a gift or even want to see you again. You uninvited me to your wedding less than a week before it's due to take place. What on earth makes you think I'm gonna give you money? On top of that, you've wasted a bunch of my time and money with all of this. I can't understand how you can even dare to ask for more.
Well, it was worth asking. I just thought since you could somehow afford the flight, perhaps if you could get the refund, you could give that money to me. But I don't think it really matters that you're not invited anymore. If your sister's getting married, you should get a gift regardless of whether you're attending the wedding. But you're too poor for that, I guess. It doesn't have to be as much as $10,000. Probably $5,000 would be fine as well. You could return the new suit you bought, too. I doubt you'll get another opportunity to wear it.
I don't know what to say to you, Brittany. You don't seem to have any idea of what a piece of trash you're being to all of us. I don't know what your friends are like. Maybe they're the same as you. But I think if you keep on acting like this, you're going to end up with nobody. People don't like it that much when all you do is ask for money and talk about how you're better than they are.
That's ridiculous. My friends are on a completely different level to you. You have no right to say anything to me about having friends. No one has ever liked you much. You've always been part of the loser crowd, Dustin. You know, Chris and I are the kind of power couple that everyone adores and secretly wants to be like. We don't have any problems making friends. My schedule is always packed with parties and stuff because everyone knows that it's not even a party if I'm not there. You're just saying all of this horrible stuff because you're jealous of me and because I pointed out that you should get me a wedding gift. Can't you see why I uninvited you from the wedding? You're such a Debbie Downer about everything. It was definitely for the best. I don't care if Mom and Dad find out.
Okay then, if that's how you feel. Anyway, I guess I have to call the airline and cancel my flight. And I should call Mom and Dad too. Wow, lots to do. It's a shame, but I guess I won't have time to talk to you for a while. Bye, Brittany. Have a great wedding day.
Dustin, what the heck? Why aren't you answering your phone? You need to pick up my calls when I need you. I'm your sister, and this is an emergency.
I'm sorry, I was just busy now and I didn't hear my phone. Why are you calling me? Isn't today your wedding day? You should be having fun with all your guests who matter more to you than your own brother. I don't want you calling me anyway. I'm at my friend's house.
Oh, don't try that garbage with me. You don't have any friends, and even if you did, what's happening to me right now is way more important than any friend of yours. This situation needs to be your top priority, Dustin. You've got to help me fix it somehow. First of all, I want to know why you chose not to tell me that the company I work at is currently trying to get your charity to agree to accept it as an ethical partner. Apparently, the upper management have created a committee to try and improve our image, and they think becoming a donor for that dumb NPO you work for is going to help somehow. I don't even know what they're trying to achieve, but I had no idea about any of it. You never told me. Don't you know what you've done?
Oh, right, yeah. I've had to give them a list of concerns they need to address before we'll consider being associated with their brand. But I don't understand what that has to do with you. Why would I have to tell you any of that? It has nothing to do with your job, and you don't even have the authority to do anything about it. I wouldn't share anything about our charity's communication with brands like that to someone who I can't trust. It doesn't concern you, so you don't need to know.
Of course it concerns me. That's why I'm texting you right now, you absolute idiot!
What? Why? You're gonna have to explain this to me.
Stop pretending you don't know anything about this. You know I invited some of our managers to our wedding. I got an email from one of their assistants this morning saying they're sorry they'll have to cancel because they're aware of a clash of interests between me and a prospective charity partner, or something like that. And when I called the assistant, he said my behavior had caused offense to the management of the charity you work at, and the company couldn't be associated with my wedding celebrations. The guy even sent me a screenshot of one of my messages where I said I don't care about stupid factory workers or whatever. So please, stop trying to tell me you didn't drop me in this on purpose, because I know you took that screenshot and sent it to my bosses to make me look bad. I can't believe you would just completely ruin my wedding like this. You know I put so much hard work into it. You have to call all of these management people at your stupid charity and tell them it was a mistake, and it doesn't have anything to do with me. You have to fix this mess you've made, Dustin.
I really don't think that I have to take responsibility for your garbage opinions that you aren't smart enough to keep to yourself. Anyway, why are you so upset that these managers from your work aren't coming to your wedding? You barely even know them. What difference does it make if a couple of people you don't know aren't there?
They were supposed to come because that would make me and Chris look super important in the company, and then Chris would definitely get his promotion. We would have a few drinks together and have fun, and they'd be our friends after that, so they'd have to treat us right at work. And I was going to impress them so much with my amazing style and popularity. They'd automatically think of me next time a merchandising management position comes up.
That's how you think you and Chris will get promoted? Because you can throw a fancy party?
Why not? That's how it always works for rich and famous people. It's all about connections. But now that plan is ruined because you've made me look like an idiot.
You are completely deluded. I'm not the one making you look like an idiot. You're capable of doing that by yourself.
But you send screenshots of my messages to your bosses, and now those messages are going around my office too, apparently. That's probably a crime, Dustin. I could have you arrested for sharing my private messages without my consent.
I guess you could try that, but I don't think it'll stand up in court. Those are your actual opinions that you've expressed to me so many times, right? I don't think you'll be able to argue that you didn't want that information to become public, since you've shared posts like that on social media before. But I actually didn't take a screenshot and share it on purpose to get you into trouble. I took it ages ago to show my friend at work. And then this week I was supposed to be away at your wedding, but you told me not to come, so I went to work instead. Then my friend, who is also my boss, wanted to know why I was there. I guess when I told her that you uninvited me, she got mad and thought she would see if she could cause you some problems. It worked, clearly.
Who is this friend? I'm going to make her pay for this.
Again, you could try that, but I doubt you'd be successful. I'm talking about the CEO of the charity. She's the person your bosses are trying so hard to impress. I expect if you want to stay in their good books, you should avoid annoying me and my friend.
But you've both totally ruined my wedding. It's a disaster without the main guests here. It's just a few friends and family. There's no one here to impress, and I'm not going to gain anything by just hanging around with mom and dad, am I?
But it's like I've been trying to explain to you. Weddings aren't for impressing people and spending as much money as you can. They're for celebrating with your family.
That's garbage. What's the point in having a party if you're not going to get anything out of it?
I'm done trying to explain how society works to you, Brittany. Let's just forget about it. My advice to you now is just to try not annoy my boss anymore. She can get really single-minded about teaching people a lesson if she thinks they're treating people unfairly. That's why she set up this charity.
Well, I don't even care about your charity. You already know that. I'm happy just earning my money and not thinking about factories and poor people. Your idiot boss obviously went and told my bosses that, and now I'm in trouble. But I don't see why I should be. I am not paid to think about good working conditions for poor people, am I? I'm paid to tell stupid store managers how to sell clothes properly.
I know, but your industry will have to change because customers want to buy from more conscientious brands these days. Your managers have obviously accepted that, and they're trying to do something about it. So, why don't you get with the times?
Oh my god, shut your cake hole, Dustin. You're such a loser. When are you going to stop preaching at me? Our company is obviously just trying to impress your charity so that we look good. Nobody actually cares, okay? Can we just focus on me for a minute? I'm in trouble here, and you're trying to make out that I'm the one who needs to change. You've caused all of these problems, so now you need to sort it all out. Don't you know what it means when I say none of the managers are coming to the wedding? All of the other guests are wondering why they're not here. Chris's parents were all prepared to go and talk Chris up to them for the whole day. It's so embarrassing. People keep asking me what went wrong. What are you going to do about it?
What do you mean, what am I gonna do? I didn't do anything in the first place. I just told the truth to my boss when she was wondering why I wasn't at your wedding. How is that me making problems for you? You're the one who created the problem in the first place by treating me like garbage.
I specifically told you to tell people you were sick. Nobody would have thought it was weird if you just stuck to the plan we agreed on. You just never consider anyone else when you act like that, do you? You didn't think what was going to happen to my reputation if you spread it about that I uninvited you?
But you did uninvite me, and I never agreed to tell anyone I was sick. You said I should, but I never agreed to it. Look, Brittany, all of these problems are just the natural consequences of treating your family members and everyone else like they're beneath you. And you should probably consider yourself lucky that you haven't lost your job over this. If those messages got out, the company would be so ashamed of you, you'd probably lose your job.
I don't even care about my stupid job. I just get a better job at a company that doesn't waste time and money crying over idiot poor people and their dirty factory jobs. Everyone just needs to stop being such loser snowflakes around here. Poor people are poor because they're stupid, and they deserve it. I make a lot of money because I'm good at my job. That's just the truth.
Oh, I had no idea that's how you really felt about your job. I totally thought you liked it. It would be a shame if your manager found out about your true feelings, wouldn't it?
What are you going to do, Dustin? Are you going to screenshot my messages again and send them to my manager? Fine. Go ahead. They can't fire me anyway. I'm too good at my job.
I sincerely doubt it, but I'm not going to do that anyway. I'm not the kind of person to take petty revenge on someone like that. You'll just have to try and keep your mouth shut about your job and hope no one notices your opinions suck.
Whatever, Dustin. Chris and I are going to continue getting richer and more successful, and you're just going to stay useless and poor. You'll see in about 20 years' time when you're still scraping by on your pitiful salary and we're living in a huge LA mansion next door to all the celebrities. But for now, we're in a little bit of trouble because we were expecting all the executives from our company to attend the wedding and bring huge gifts. Now they're not coming. We're probably going to have to borrow money from Mom and Dad to pay some of the bills.
You don't have enough to pay for the wedding without the money you thought people were going to give you as a present? That doesn't make any sense. You are the most irresponsible person I have ever met. If you need money, perhaps you could just cancel your big honeymoon trip and get a refund. That way, you'll be able to pay for your wedding.
We can't just cancel and get a refund. It's too late. We're supposed to be leaving for the honeymoon tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Maybe you could just tell the airline that you're sick. Did you get travel insurance?
No, we didn't get insurance. Just forget about a refund. We're going anyway. We'll just have to find some other way of paying for everything. Mom and Dad will probably agree to help out, but if not, we can try asking Chris's mom and dad instead.
I don't understand. I thought you were super rich because you earn tons of money and get a huge bonus.
We do earn a bunch, but we have very expensive taste and busy lives, Dustin. We don't exactly save money. That's for boring people with no life. That gives me an idea. You're boring as watching paint dry. You must have loads of money saved up, right? Well, this is all your fault, so you should help to fix it. I think we still owe about $30,000. Can you try and transfer it before we go on a honeymoon tomorrow? I want to get it all dealt with so I can enjoy my vacation.
You've been going on and on about how I don't earn enough money, and now you're suddenly asking me for $30,000 as though I should just have that amount lying around? If you don't have that amount in savings, what makes you think I do? But I'm not going to give you any money, either as a gift or a loan to help you pay for your ridiculous wedding and honeymoon. It's almost as though you've forgotten you've treated me and insulted me and uninvited me from your wedding, causing me to lose money on cancelled flights.
Well, I didn't force you to cancel your flights. You could have come to Scotland anyway if you wanted to. You could have gone sightseeing. It's not my fault you wasted your money.
That's true, but I thought that since I hadn't planned anything to do in Scotland, my time might just be better spent at home working. But you're getting distracted. Just accept that I'm not going to give you $30,000 to pay for your wedding, and neither are Mom and Dad. Are they there?
Who, Mom and Dad?
Yeah, did they talk to you about what you did to me? They said they'd just get through the wedding, and then once you're all home in the USA, they don't want to see you anymore.
What do you mean?
Just that they were really disappointed that you uninvited me from the wedding. They decided they were done with you.
I don't believe this, Dustin. Not only did you ruin my wedding by turning my managers against me, you've also ruined my relationship with Mom and Dad over all this?
I swear I never said anything about it to anyone. I told Mom and Dad that I wasn't coming after all, and they just connected the dots. But all three of us knew how much you were looking forward to your wedding day, and we didn't want to ruin it, so they agreed to go anyway. They're planning on talking to you about your behavior when you get back off your honeymoon, but I don't think it's necessary to wait that long.
But this is completely ridiculous. They can't tell me they don't want to see me anymore. I'm their eldest child.
I thought that this would be good news for you. You were the one who was talking about not having Mom and Dad over at your house all the time, right? Unless you were thinking you'd just keep Mom and Dad on your side because you're eventually hoping to inherit their house and stuff. But even you wouldn't be so avaricious, would you?
It's not avaricious of me to think about what I'll inherit when my parents die. I am the eldest, so it just makes sense that I'll get the house and money.
It doesn't make much sense to think like that when you consider how you've behaved to everyone. Think about it from Mom and Dad's perspective. Do you really think they would want to have someone like you inheriting their house? Would you appreciate the gift?
Well, since I'm the eldest, there really isn't any question about who should inherit the house, is there? It's old, but it's quite big and they had a lot of renovation work done recently, so it should still be in good condition when they finally pass away.
I don't think you should even be thinking about that stuff. I just brought it up because I wanted to make sure you weren't that awful. I guess I was wrong. But since you'll probably find out anyway, Mom and Dad have said that I can have their house when they die. It's all decided, and they've both written their will so that it's going to be indisputable. I'm just saying that now so you don't get any ideas about arguing. But none of this is important. Mom and Dad are both going to be around for many, many years yet. Let's just forget about it.
What? You're going to inherit our childhood home even though you're probably going to be single and sad forever? That house would be totally wasted on you, Dustin. How can you be so selfish when you know that Chris and I are married and will probably have kids? How can you tell me to just forget about this once you've dropped a bombshell like that?
Well, I figured you wouldn't even care since you're earning so much money, you'll be able to buy any house you want. And you were saying your goal is to move to LA and live in a huge mansion next door to a bunch of celebrities, right? Our childhood home is hardly going to satisfy that dream, is it?
Okay, hold on 1 second. I don't think you understand how serious our situation is. I know I said all of that about earning a load of money and living in LA, but that's in the future, and right now we probably need that house. You know, we don't save money, we just spend what we earn and live life to the fullest in our own style, right? So, we kind of need some kind of financial help right now so we can deal with the loan we took out to pay for the wedding.
What loan? I thought you were asking for $30,000 because you haven't paid for all the wedding stuff yet. If you took out a loan, why do you still need that money? Surely you can just use the loan money and pay it back gradually.
No! We spent the loan money. We went over the budget a bit because we thought we'd get enough money from the guests who were coming.
But you said you wanted to impress your company executives. And now you're saying that you were just spending the money you thought they were going to give you? That is completely insane. If they found out you went over budget by that much, they'd be the opposite of impressed. I can't believe you go around belittling people for being poorer than you while making the worst possible financial choices. Are you for real? You say poor people are stupid and deserve to be poor, but I think someday soon you're gonna find out what happens when rich people act like idiots with money. This is literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Didn't you consider what would happen if people didn't give you money as wedding gifts? You can't assume that people are going to pay to be at your wedding.
Well, they should. It was a really important event, and it must have been an amazing experience for everyone.
Interesting, because it's not even supposed to be over, and you've spent a lot of time texting your brother who you don't even like instead of enjoying the wedding. Besides, Mom texted me earlier and said your wedding was the ugliest, most self-aggrandizing, boringly ceremonious garbage wedding she ever attended. But I don't even know why you're bothering to send me all these messages now, since I told you I am not giving you any money.
Well, if you're not going to give me any money, can you at least try and convince Mom and Dad to change their minds about the house? They haven't been in the best of health recently, so they should probably act quickly if they're going to change their wills. You never know, one of us might be able to get the house pretty soon, so we should settle the issue as fast as we can.
It's already settled, though.
If we had the house, we could sell it and use the money to pay off our stupid loan. I don't think you should be so selfish about this, Dustin. Consider our future and the future of your nieces and nephews.
I don't even have any nieces and nephews to consider. Why would I think about the prospects of people who don't even exist? I hope you're not going to start having children while you're in so much debt. And I don't think you can rely on Mom and Dad being in poor health or dying soon. They both seem totally fine.
Oh my God. How are we going to get all of this figured out? You have to deal with it. Tell the people at your charity that this was all a misunderstanding and we're best friends and I love poor factory workers. And maybe my bosses will hear that and think I'm awesome again and give me their wedding gifts. I'm sure they had the money set aside anyway. It wouldn't hurt them to just give it to me, even though they didn't attend the wedding. Either that or you need to help us pay off our loan because you're my brother and you haven't got me a gift either.
None of that is going to happen. You know I hate lying, so I'm not telling anyone that you've changed.
What if I apologize to everyone for my behavior? I could write a post on my socials about how much I love equal pay and living wages and stuff.
I really don't think so. I think it's your turn to struggle with your finances for a while. I'm hoping that'll make you understand how difficult it is to live with the stress of not knowing if you can make rent or afford food. Anyways, think about it for a while and enjoy the rest of your wedding day. I have to go now because I'm going for coffee with a friend and I'm supposed to be meeting her soon. I'm turning off my notifications, so I'll speak to you soon, Brittany. Bye. A lot went down after Brittany and Chris's wedding. They flew straight from Scotland to Bali for their honeymoon and spent even more money than they already had. Every single photo Brittany posted to her social media had the hashtag YOLO, so that was super annoying, and eventually I had to snooze her profile so I didn't see it. Then, for some crazy reason, they decided to hire mopeds to explore the island, and Chris crashed, fell, and broke his leg. So, as a result of that, they have hospital bills as well as a loan repayment to figure out. I guess neither of them thought that it would be a good idea to have travel insurance, but I'm not surprised. When they got back, they were calling Mom and Dad and me constantly for a couple of days, and then Mom relented and answered the phone. So Mom ended up looking after Chris while Brittany went to work. But that didn't last long. It turns out there were plenty of people in Brittany's office who hated her because she was so mean to everyone. One of them, I never found out who, discovered the screenshots of her conversations with me in an email attachment. And this person posted them anonymously to social media so that everyone could see who she was and where she worked. Brittany was immediately fired from her job, so there was quite a while where neither she nor Chris were working. Now they're in so much debt and Brittany still isn't working. Chris has finally gone back to work, but his hopes of a promotion are completely smashed. They've had to move out of their nice house and rent a small apartment above a restaurant in town. My mom sometimes goes there to make sure Brittany's looking after herself, and she says it stinks of fryer grease and it's so loud in the evenings. It doesn't sound very nice. I just wish Mom would stick to her guns and let Brittany and Chris deal with the mess they've created for themselves. But there's also a small part of me that feels sorry for them. I mean, I know they brought all of this on themselves, but it's hard not to feel a little compassion for someone who's hit rock bottom as hard as they have. And it's not like Brittany was always this mean. When we were kids, she was pretty smart and kind. But when she started hanging around with the popular girls in high school, she changed. She became obsessed with appearances and social status. Then, when she graduated and got a job, she just rapidly became fixed on earning as much as she could. Then she started to equate material wealth with success. It is so weird because our parents were never like that, so I don't know where she got this side of her personality from. Anyway, I've always been proud of the fact that I'm a forgiving and understanding person, so it's hard for me to just wash my hands of her and move on with my life. I keep hoping that one day she'll see where she went wrong and start to remember how much better life is when you just enjoy the simple things. I think my mom feels the same way, and that's why she couldn't go through with her resolution to cut Brittany out and stop seeing her. But I wish she would just let them get on with sorting their own mess out. I think that's the only way they're gonna learn the real value of money. But even though my mom still has Brittany and Chris to worry about, I don't have to see them or talk to them for now. And with Brittany out of my life, I'm feeling much happier and more confident. I've been going out much more and meeting loads of new people. The charity is doing really well, and I feel like we're making a difference to the lives of people we support in less affluent countries. I'm pretty happy with my definition of success. It's just feeling that you've made a positive impact on the world, and I'm glad that I can feel like that every day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to see more content.
Hey Melissa, OMG, I haven't talked to you for so long. How have you been? It's me, Jenny Elliott. We went to junior high and high school together. You still remember me, right?
Jenny Elliott. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard from you. Of course I remember you. How could I forget? Honestly, I'm pretty shocked you're just contacting me out of the blue like this. I mean, like, how did you get my number? What is this all about?
OMG. We weren't allowed to bring our phones to school back in junior high school, but like, you didn't even have a phone anyway, right? I got your number from one of our other old classmates.
Oh, you did, huh? Lucky me.
Yeah, it was literally so hard to track you down, but I kept at it. There are not that many people who know your number, you know? Like, I know you don't have many friends, but seriously, maybe you could have at least a few more.
I bet most people just didn't want to give you my number.
Why would you say that?
Everybody knows. Like, they still remember what you did to me back then, Jenny. I'm guessing they didn't want to give you my number without asking me first.
What did I do? Huh? What are you talking about? What did I ever do to you? I literally can't remember ever doing anything bad to you. Like, I was all the teacher's favorite student. And I was on student council. I was so popular back then. Don't you remember?
Student council was a joke. All you guys did was get smashed at parties every weekend. You had to have something to put on your college applications. There was no way you would have made it otherwise. All of you guys were like that. You're lucky that extracurricular activities count for something. It was the most dysfunctional student council I could imagine. What did you guys even do for the rest of us?
It was not like that at all. We were all so awesome at what we did. Our school festival was always so fun, totally thanks to us.
It was only for like a really small group. Most of us were annoyed by the student council. The whole thing was just for you guys who like to party all the time, right? I mean, you forced everyone into a class dance-off whether they wanted to do it or not. And you wasted a bunch of money on the stage for the band. The festival organizing committee were the ones who made sure everything actually ran okay. You guys just did whatever you wanted like you always did. Like you just partied it up amongst yourselves and left everybody else out, right?
It's not my fault that you were such a boring teenager.
All you guys ever did was get on my nerves. Okay, maybe not all of you, but definitely most of you did. It was such a small group that was down with doing things your way. You really never noticed that?
But the dance contest was so fun! Who doesn't love to dance?
I was so busy studying for the SATs and you made everybody stay after school to practice your silly dances. And then you went and ordered a bunch of stupid matching costumes for everybody without asking. And made us pay for them after the fact? Like, seriously? What the fuck? You get why those aren't fond memories of my teenage years for me, right? You're not that dense, are you?
OMG, you're still such a downer. I thought maybe you would have learned to have fun by now. Just admit that those were fun times. Those have to be good memories. Hey, what about that time your boyfriend got stolen right out from under you? I bet that's a good memory too, right?
Oh, so you do remember. Why am I not surprised?
I knew it. You're still pissed at me about it, aren't you? Has it really been eating away at you that much? Like, sorry, I guess. Maybe you could learn how to not hold a grudge. Were you trying to avoid ever talking to me again because of that? It was so long ago. Let it go, girl.
Everybody was just looking out for me and not telling you my number, that's all.
Don't act like it's my fault. It's all on you that he didn't want to be with you anymore.
I was out with the flu for 1 week, and that's all the time you needed to put a bunch of lies about me in his ear, right? You knew damn well I couldn't see him because I was sick and that I didn't have a cell phone, so it was hard to get in touch with him, and you used that as your chance. You told him that I'd gotten around a lot back in junior high, and that I caught the flu from some other random dude.
I mean, it did take a lot of work to get him to believe me. He really believed you for some reason.
You bullied one of the quiet girls from our junior high, didn't you? That's how you got her to tell him the same lies about me, right?
Oh, you knew about that too, huh?
She came to apologize to me afterwards. That's how I knew everything you'd done.
Well, men are pretty easy to trick like that, right? Boys will be boys.
And then you broke up like a week after you stole him from me?
I mean, I was busy studying for my SATs then.
But you had already been accepted to some schools thanks to all your extracurricular activities.
I had all the boys and all the teachers right in the palm of my hand, didn't I? It was so easy for me. Serious girls like you are really missing out on so much in life, you know? You've got to learn how to get what you want out of life like I do.
Yeah, I did really dedicate myself to studying hard. And you know what? It totally paid off for me, so I don't regret a thing.
Is that so?
Anyway, is there some reason you're texting me out of nowhere like this?
Oh, yeah. So we were just talking about how I was on student council, right? I guess maybe that's why I have to do my part here. It kind of feels like it's still my responsibility. We're having a class reunion soon. We just decided it not that long ago.
A class reunion.
Yeah, so I figured I'd better let you know, too. I didn't want to leave you out, so I've been wanting to get in touch with you. I'm going to be in charge of the whole thing. You got to be there, okay? Promise me? If anybody doesn't show up, I'll feel like I failed at organizing the reunion. Please don't do that to me.
Are you out of your mind?
I'll let you know about the date, location, and cost once I have that all finalized. Make sure you check your text often, all right? I'll tell you everything you need to know.
I never even said whether I was coming or not.
It's like I already told you, though. I won't let anybody miss the class reunion if I'm organizing it. Not on my watch. I already told the venue how many of us are coming and everything. They're expecting you to be there, too. You don't want to waste the nice meal that's already going to be prepared for you anyway, do you? And we'll have to pay for the number of people I already told them are coming no matter what. So, even if there's some reason why you absolutely can't make it, you'll still have to send me the money for your part of the bill.
Still trying to get money out of people after the fact like that, huh? You never asked me anything.
Well, there's still a ton of people I need to get in touch with, so let's leave it there for now. Talk to you soon.
Hang on a second, Jenny. You can't just ask for money and run.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again after so long when the reunion finally happens. I hope you haven't changed at all from that moody, plain little girl you always were. I'm glad you could make it to the class reunion last month after all. So much has been going on since then that I haven't had a chance to get in touch with you again. Sorry.
I mean, it's not like I was really waiting by my phone to hear from you or anything, so you don't have to worry about it. I did get a chance to see a bunch of my old classmates for the first time in a long time, so it was pretty fun, I guess. That's about all I expected. Okay then, I can't imagine why there's any reason you would ever contact me again now. Have a nice life.
Stop right there. Just give me a second at least.
What else could you possibly want from me? Oh my god, you're not going to try to tell me you're organizing a class reunion for our junior high too, are you?
That's actually a great idea. We've never once gotten together with everybody from junior high.
Oh my god, what have I done? Never mind, forget I said anything. I take it all back, okay? Almost none of us had cell phones back in junior high anyway, right? I think it would be way too hard to get a hold of everybody, wouldn't it? Don't even bother.
You never know unless you try, right? Be optimistic for once. I can definitely still get in touch with the friends I was really close with in junior high. I'll talk to them and see what they think about your idea. Anyway, I had something more important to talk to you about. You're married now, right?
Yeah, most people our age are by now, aren't they? Most of the people that were at our high school reunion were married too, as far as I could tell.
Yeah, but I was really surprised that you had gotten married. I never would have guessed that you get married before I did. Not in a million years. It has to be some kind of miracle, right? No one could have seen that coming.
What are you talking about? For real? What is this all about? Are you just trying to be all in my business like back in high school again? If that's what you're doing, I'm just gonna block you.
And I heard your husband is a CEO too. Is that true?
Huh?
I know all about him. I was curious, so I actually decided to look into him. You know that registry that you signed when you came to the class reunion? I went to the address you put down there. I had a little time on my hands, so I staked the place out for a while. I just had to see what kind of man would marry a girl like you.
You did what now? Are you some kind of stalker? Please don't come around my house anymore. You can't be using people's personal information for your own amusement like that.
Cho, you make it sound like I'm some kind of monster. I wasn't planning to hurt anyone. My curiosity got the best of me. It was like an itch I had to scratch. I figured your husband would be another sad, boring person like you anyhow. Imagine my surprise when I saw him. He's such a hunk. How did you ever end up with a guy like him? And when I talked to him, he was so down to earth and cool. He's such an easy person to get along with.
Wait, you talked to him. You tracked down and spoke to my husband. When was this?
Once I struck up a conversation with him, he was telling me all kinds of things. So I figured, why not? I went on the attack. What man can resist me? It was just like back in high school.
What exactly do you mean, like, just like back in high school? Oh my god, you didn't.
He told me all about how he runs a company, and he's so good looking too. I thought he'd be the perfect man for me, don't you think?
Stop screwing around. You already saw my boyfriend back in high school. And even after that, you were always trying to ruin any relationship I had until we graduated. Have you really grown up so little since then? Do you think you're still a child? Are you seriously telling me you're still playing these stupid, childish games?
It's like I already told you. It's your fault if a man gets stolen away from you.
You are unbelievable.
If I'm being brutally honest, I think Albert is wasted on you.
Wait, what?
You're not really the kind of girl who's married to a CEO, are you? I don't know, a perfect husband like that just doesn't suit you. I'm obviously much better equipped to be a CEO's wife, right?
You think you're entitled to be a CEO's wife for some reason. Jenny, have you really taken a look at yourself lately?
Are you making fun of me? Whatever, I don't even care if you are. You'll be the one crying in the end after all. I'll take my rightful place as the wife of a CEO along with your dream husband. It'll look much better on me. Looks like I have to steal your husband like I stole your boyfriend.
You know what? If you really can steal him away, he's all yours. I'd like to see you try it.
What's that? Trying to act confident.
If you really think you can steal my Al away, go right ahead.
Wow, you sound like you really believe what you're saying. Watch out. I'm really gonna give it my best shot.
Melissa, I'm sorry. I have to tell you something. I can't keep living a lie. I want to live a life of true love.
Where is this coming from? What's gotten into you?
I've realized that I can't continue in a marriage that isn't based on true love. I've been fooling myself.
What are you talking about?
Well, I run a company, right? If I want to make my company continue growing, I realize that I need to try out all kinds of new things. But anytime you take up a new challenge, you always have to sacrifice something too. I know I'm taking a big risk. I know my family is not going to be on my side here.
You have a kid now. You can't just live your life entirely for yourself, Albert. You know that, right?
The pressures of having a family are too much for me, though. It turns out it's a burden that's too heavy for me to bear.
So explain to me how this relates to living a life of true love or whatever you're talking about.
It's about your old friend Jenny. I think I want to start my life over with her.
What? Wait, Jenny? You don't mean Jenny Elliott, do you? Oh my god. Was she serious about what she was saying? I can't believe this is real.
What do you mean? What did she say?
She got in touch with me last month talking crazy about how she was going to steal my husband.
Oh, she did, huh? Well, anyway, I realized that she's the one I should really be with. It's my destiny to make her my wife.
And what do you plan to do with your current family? Are you going to abandon your family completely?
Family? My life has felt like a waste for a long time now, Melissa. Didn't you know that? I thought you would realize that too. I thought everyone knew.
Do you expect anyone to be able to always support your stupid, reckless risks? So you're gonna go start over with a new woman. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I mean, it is my life after all. What's so bad about me wanting to live my life the way that I want to live it? Jenny is nothing like you at all, Melissa. She never tries to put me down. She's always on my side.
I never mean to put you down, you know?
I feel like I have to keep challenging myself.
How am I wrong for asking you, as a man who already has a family, to calm down and really think this through? You just had a kid, right? What's wrong with expecting you to be around the house to raise that kid? Who wouldn't want you to try to get home early so you can be around for a child? That's a perfectly normal thing to expect.
I'm gonna start again with Jenny.
I can't believe this is happening. So you've already started a relationship with her? Is that what you're saying?
When I'm with her, I feel so truly happy, like I haven't felt in a long time.
So you've been cheating with her then, right?
Fine, you want to call it cheating? I'll pay alimony or whatever. It's no problem. If that's what it takes to free me from my miserable life with you, I'll do it gladly. I'll pay whatever it takes to be able to live a life full of real love.
How can you be so sure that you love her more than anything else in the world? More than your own family, even?
If you could only see the pictures of us together when we took a trip together, you can see our true love overflowing from out of the pictures. It's all right there on film. If you tell me that it would help you understand why I want a divorce, I'd be happy to show them all to you. Is that what you want?
I see. Got it. You've always been extremely stubborn once you've made up your mind, Albert. You've been that way since I first met you.
I knew you would understand, Melissa. I never doubted that you would support me if it meant that I could live a life full of love.
Anyway, this isn't just about you, you know. Let me remind you yet again you have a child to support now. Let's figure out a time when all of us can talk through everything and get things figured out. You do need to figure out what's going to happen in the future.
Hey, Melissa, thanks for everything. So sorry I had to steal your partner away again.
My partner? What are you talking about? My husband Al is right here next to me. Who's there with you?
Huh? Wait, what are you talking about? How can Albert be there when he's sitting right here next to me? We're at the courthouse to turn in our marriage certificate.
Oh, wait, Albert. You said Albert, right? My husband's name is Alvin.
Alvin? What? Wait, what's going on?
Albert and Alvin are twins. You didn't know? Albert never mentioned his twin brother to you?
Hold on, I have no idea what's going on right now. What are you talking about? I mean, I saw Albert coming out of your house. That's how I first found him.
Yeah, sure. He comes around to bother us for money sometimes. That's about all he's good for. When you saw him on his way home, you must have thought he was my husband for some reason. That was your mistake.
My mistake?
Yeah, you'd said something about Albert when I talked to you recently. I wasn't entirely sure which of the brothers you'd met. I thought maybe you just remembered his name. But then Albert reached out to me after that. So then I was almost positive that you'd mistaken him for my husband.
But you said your husband's name was Al. I'm not dreaming that, am I?
My husband's name is Alvin. I just told you that, remember? I've always called him Al, though. Albert, on the other hand, has always been Albert.
That's so confusing.
I've known both Albert and Alvin since we were all little kids. That's why I know Albert so well, too. We've always talked to each other pretty regularly.
Since you were kids?
Yep, they lived really close by, but the school district was cut off, like right in between their parents' house and mine. They had to put the border somewhere, right? So we didn't go to the same junior high or high school, even though they were my neighbors. I guess that's probably why you never met them, Jenny.
Wait, so Albert is not and never has been your husband?
That's right.
Well, all right. It is what it is, I guess. I still got to be married to a CEO, unlike you.
It is technically true that Albert is a CEO. His company's been losing money forever, and he's the only employee.
Losing money? Wait a sec, what are you talking about? Everything you're saying is news to me.
I thought you looked into him or something. Did you just take a quick look at him and accept everything he said as truth? And you felt like that was good enough? Albert was never able to take any kind of orders, so he can't work for anyone else. He keeps trying to start businesses and calling himself an entrepreneur, but he fails every time and goes deeper in debt. He always talks about how you have to take risks if you want to make a profit.
So even though he's a CEO, he's a poor CEO. I didn't know that was a thing.
My Al, on the other hand, got a job at my dad's company. He was awesome at his job, then he and I got married, so that helped too. So my dad decided to train him on how to be the next CEO. And now he's fully taken over from my dad.
Your dad has a company.
Yeah, my dad was the CEO of MCOR. Didn't you know that?
No way, you're lying, right? That's a huge company.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I hid that from everybody in junior high and high school. It was kind of a pain in the butt when people found out. When I was in elementary school, everybody was like, "Oh, you're a little rich girl." It was so much unwanted attention and like people wanting to come see your house and stuff.
Are you serious? You were a rich girl all along?
Yeah, but I did study hard so I could get a job at my dad's company too. And now that my dad's retired, I get to work with my husband since he took over as CEO. He takes care of the company and I make sure I take care of him, at work and at home.
This is not what I had in mind at all. I just wanted to marry a CEO and live a life of luxury. I was supposed to steal away your perfect life and be happier than you in the end.
Look, I have no idea why you've always been so fixated on taking things from me. But honestly, I think you and Albert are perfect for each other. You're both people who've never figured out how to make something for yourselves. Albert and Jenny, happily ever after.
Shut up!
Albert asked me for advice about his divorce. But his wife had actually already come to me a long time ago saying she was thinking about divorcing him. It all came together nicely in the end. Both of them ended up getting exactly what they wanted.
His wife?
Albert must have told you about his divorce, right? I'm sure he did. But I'm still not his wife, never was. Since you know that now, surely you must have realized that his wife is someone else, right?
Yeah, I guess I should have figured that out. Wait, so who is she?
He and his wife have already finalized their divorce. They already worked out all the alimony and child support payments and everything. I was there myself, so trust me, it's all decided.
What did you say about child support?
Yeah, they just had a kid. Ever since his wife got pregnant, she'd been asking him to get a stable job that would bring in some money. The whole time she was pregnant, she kept asking him, but even Albert said he would try. Instead, he kept taking risks like he always did. So, yeah, they still weren't any better off than they'd been before. His wife got tired of putting up with him and started thinking about getting a divorce.
So he has to pay alimony and child support, and his company is losing money. You mean he has no money at all?
The plan is for him to pay his ex a certain amount every month. And of course, you'll have to contribute too, Jenny.
What? Why?
During the divorce proceedings, he told everybody he'd show them what true love is. He had a bunch of pictures of you two together, which was great evidence that he'd been cheating.
Oh my god, is he that stupid?
You'd never guess they're twins. He's so different from my Al. It's a total mystery how they turned out the complete opposite.
Oh no, I was so preoccupied messaging you that I didn't notice he already turned our paperwork in. I have to go get them to cancel it.
I'm pretty sure it's too late now.
Why do you say that?
His whole life, he's been incredibly stubborn. Once he has his mind set on something, he won't let it go. That's why his wife wanted to divorce him for so long, but she wasn't able to get him to do it.
So you're saying there's no way I can get out of this?
That's up to you. Anyway, I don't plan on talking to Albert ever again, so I guess you and I can be done now too.
Hold on a minute. I thought you guys grew up together. You have to do something to help Albert.
Now that you're his family, isn't it up to you to help him change his ways? Try some of that true love you guys have.
No, I don't want to be poor forever. Why do I get the loser twin? Why didn't you tell me I had the wrong one?
Hey, I'm not the one who told you to start a relationship with a married man. That was all up to you and Albert. You made that decision yourselves. Now you're the ones who have to live with it.
Why does it have to be like this? Melissa, you have to help me. Hey, are you still there? But I thought we were friends.
Apparently, Albert and Jenny are having a hard time making ends meet after their alimony and child support payments every month. And when their parents found out about how they'd been cheating together, they totally disowned them. Even though Jenny already wants a divorce, Albert is having none of it. They're living in some cheap apartment just to get by, and they're both working all the time. I've heard that they fight like crazy every day. It's pretty far off from the happy, luxurious life Jenny had in mind, that's for sure. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and let us know what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this and press the bell for notifications.
Hey, Sarah. Do you know how challenging it is to raise a child these days? Are you aware that it requires a great deal of effort, time, and resources? Perhaps you cannot fully comprehend the difficulties involved since you have not yet experienced parenthood yourself.
While I haven't had the first-hand experience of raising a child, I'm aware that it is a demanding and challenging task. It entails a multitude of responsibilities, such as providing care, guidance, and support. Raising a child involves dedicating a significant amount of time and energy, as well as being attentive to their physical, emotional, and educational needs. It also requires making sacrifices and adapting one's lifestyle to accommodate the child's well-being. Parenting is a lifelong commitment that necessitates constant learning, patience, and love. I think I recognize that raising a child is an intricate and demanding journey that demands unwavering dedication.
While that may be true, I was specifically asking if you're aware of how much it costs to raise a child.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's not even funny when it comes to raising a child. From their food to clothing. And when you add in the cost of private tutoring, it becomes quite substantial. Raising a child is all about money. You can't even have a baby if you don't make enough money. It's completely different from decades ago when people perceived children grow up on their own. Private tutoring? Danielle is barely in kindergarten, but you already hired a private tutor for her? I meant private tutoring will be part of the expense when she becomes first grade next year. And just because she's in kindergarten, it doesn't mean there are no expenses for private tutoring. Simply giving her extracurricular activity lessons like piano, art, martial arts, or foreign languages can easily exceed $1,000 per month. Just like in my household, if the father is the sole breadwinner supporting a family of 3, covering living expenses, including food, utilities, and even the cost of private tutoring, you could say we're incurring losses every month. I see. That must be hard. Speaking of which, can you help us financially by any chance? Although Danielle is not your niece by blood, she's your husband's niece, which means she's technically your niece as well. You can help your niece by supporting her with $10,000, right? That's a lot of money. Isn't $10,000 considered a small amount of money in today's world? You've had a job for 10 years and don't have any children, so it's likely that you have saved a significant amount. Instead of letting it sit in a bank and lose value, it would be really useful for me if you could give it to me. Is there any way that could be possible? Just because I have been working for 10 years, it doesn't mean I have all the money in the world. I need to prepare for my retirement and keep it to raise my children when I have them later. You just said yourself that it costs a fortune to raise a child. I'm considering having children in the near future, and I have to be prepared for them to take care of them properly, from feeding them to educating them. I'm sorry, I don't have spare money to give you. Is it true that you're just turning it down without even pretending to consider it when I'm your husband's older sister and I'm sincerely asking for your help? You're such a cold woman, aren't you? What is the benefit of having a sibling? Aren't siblings supposed to help each other when they're going through a rough patch? I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. This is exactly why people say there should be siblings. I notice that the only child is usually selfish and difficult to get along with. I'm sure you don't understand what it feels like when your sibling is having a hard time as an only child. It hurts like hell when your sibling encounters hardships, and you want to give up everything to help them. It might not hurt you, but it should hurt my brother because that's what siblings are like. Okay, fine. I can't help it if you're saying you don't have spare money to give me. I understand. However, while you may not have enough money, your parents do, don't they? I heard your parents ran a business all their life, and you were raised in a wealthy family. Is that true? I guess I can say that. Thanks to my parents, I don't recall going through financial hardships, if not enough money. Then you can take some of their money and give it to me for Danielle, right? What do you mean by that? Your mother passed away half a year ago, and once your father also passes away, you will be the sole beneficiary of their assets. I'm saying it shouldn't be a problem for you to receive and use the inheritance in advance. Are you asking me to beg my dad for money and give it to you when I receive it? You don't want to do it? Of course not. Did you really think asking me like that would work? Don't you think you're attempting too much and asking for the moon? If you need the money so badly, you should get part-time jobs at restaurants, grocery stores, or wherever. How could you even think my parents' assets will be given up to you, which they accumulated all their lives with their sacrifices and devotion? You have the guts to ask for my parents' money, don't you? I would never be able to bring up such a thing if I were you because I would be so humiliated and ashamed even by thinking about it. Are you okay today? Are you sure you're not food poisoned or anything? I don't know what to do when you become someone I don't recognize all of a sudden. Why is that? Are you confused that I stand up for myself for the first time after all these years of being nice and quiet to you? Do you think I had no idea you were taking my bags and clothes one by one? Even my shoes! Every time you came to my house? I tried so hard to understand and think positively. I tried to convince myself that you were in your worst moments and you had no other choice but to lay your hands on your brother and his wife's stuff. I have shown kindness to and to help strangers, So I was willing to let go of it and have refrained from showing any discontent toward you since you're my husband's sister. I thought that by continuing to extend my generosity, you would understand it as a gesture of goodwill. However, I guess it's true that if kindness continues, you perceive it as an entitlement. Did you think I was a joke? Did you think I didn't say anything to you because I had no idea what was going on? What the hell did you say? Are you saying you knew about it all along, but you kept it to yourself all this time? Don't you think it's even more strange if I didn't notice what was going on when my stuff was missing every time you came to my house? Well, you didn't say anything to me, so I believe you didn't know. You know you have millions of clothes and bags, right? All of them in luxury brands like Louis Vuitton and even Hermes. I thought that a woman who grew up in a wealthy family wouldn't notice if she lost a few things because she has countless articles. I'm quite surprised that you actually noticed. But the thing is, are you saying that even though you knew all this, you've been meeting me with a smile on your face and not showing any indication of it? You're so creepy, aren't you? I'm so freaked out by you that you give me chills. I feel like I've been walking the street naked. I'm so embarrassed and mad and feel a rush of rage. Do you have a damn idea how I feel right now? You're that woman who says one thing but does the other. What a hypocrite. You must be delighted that your words and actions match, aren't you? Excuse you? I'm saying you still don't understand what you should do right at the moment. If your stealing had been busted, the appropriate response for you should be sincerely apologizing and taking responsibility for your actions. Instead, you are coming across defiantly. So I'm here teaching you what you should do. What you committed is a theft, and you'll be asked to take responsibility if I report it to the police. If I were merciful enough and had let go of your actions, considering that I have been lucky enough to possess many things, you would be in a position where you should be thankful and apologize humbly for stealing my belongings. Don't you understand what kind of position you are in? I knew you were a thief, but I didn't know you were so dumb that you don't even understand English. How could you be so mean to me? I'm your husband's older sister, remember? Hey, how's your IVF going? Did you say you need to keep the money for your children that might happen in the near future? Do you think God will gift you with children if you have such an attitude to your sister-in-law? Do you think you can live comfortably as my family's daughter-in-law despite your despicable attitude toward me? Don't you get that I have the final say in everything as the eldest daughter in my family? I had the final say in everything as the only child in my family, too. Believe it or not, I don't argue with others often. But when I did, I've never lost against anyone in my life. I respected you and let go of your unbelievable actions only because you're my husband's older sister. However, now you're trying to get on top of my head and manipulate me, and I won't take it anymore. Who do you think you're trying to take for granted? You have no idea what you're doing right now, do you? Oh, I do. I'm furious that you're even thinking about taking my parents' hard-earned money. You're furious just for that? You'll try to eat me alive if you know I took your late mother's ring and sold it, won't you? I beg your pardon? I thought it was very meaningful and precious to you, but you didn't even notice it was gone. You know, we had a gathering at your house last week for my mom's birthday, right? I secretly took the ring since I was there. Indeed, it seems that people who have a lot tend not to notice or pay attention if one or two things go missing. The ring was wrapped tightly in layers and kept along with your mother's picture and other pieces of jewelry that seemed to belong to her. You must be excited that you were born as the only child of your rich mother and received a bunch of expensive goods as an inheritance. Considering I only took one inconspicuous and seemingly insignificant ring among all those possessions, wouldn't you say that I'm still quite nice and conscientious? Excuse you? That ring you stole is a special ring that was passed from my grandmother to my mom when she married my dad. It was a family heirloom. That's such a precious piece of jewelry regardless of the price. And you claim you took it without my permission? You need to give it back to me right now. Oh, that's impossible. I already sold it and it doesn't belong to me anymore. I was fortunate enough to sell the seemingly shabby ring at a high price. By selling it, I made a substantial sum of $5,000, which I spent pretty quickly. Thank you, Sarah. It's not the right time to say thank you, Sarah. You need to get the ring back right now. Otherwise, I'm going to report it to the police for theft. I mean it when I say this, so you better listen to what I'm saying. Besides, you sound like you had to steal my mom's ring because your mother was poor and had nothing to give you. Your mother must be thrilled to hear you using such absurd things as an excuse for stealing. What did you say? You're so rude as always. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not scared even a little bit. You thought I would get on my knees and apologize profusely while asking for your forgiveness if you threatened me like that. But there's no way. Don't make me laugh, okay? You should stop here if you're not going to divorce my little brother. We don't want to be uncomfortable when we're still a family, right? I promise you I'm not going to lay my hands on your stuff ever again, so end of discussion. Done. You make me speechless. Who are you to say end of discussion when I'm the owner of the ring, and I'm demanding you to bring it back to me immediately? I cannot make any concessions regarding my mom's ring, so make sure to return the ring immediately. I said I already sold the ring and I spent every penny of the sales proceeds. It's just that simple, so do whatever you need to do. So you're just going to be like, sue me? I won't have anything to give you even if you sue me. Do whatever you need to do. Okay then. Since you keep saying do whatever I need to do, I'll do whatever I need to do. What the heck can you possibly do? Sarah, did you tell everything to my mom? Did you tell her that I stole your late mother's ring and got rid of it for money? Why did you have to do that when you know better than anyone that she will never accept theft as she has been an educator all her life? I thought you told me multiple times to do whatever I needed to do. I needed your mother to realize what her daughter had done. So I told her because that was what you told me to do. So what's the problem when I only followed your instruction? Oh, did you actually want to be reported for theft? I could certainly do that for you if you prefer that way. Do you think it's funny? What kind of theft are you talking about when we're a family? What do you mean by a family when we don't live in the same house or make a living together? If I were to press charges, you would be in a position where you would be held accountable without any escape. I only gave up on pressing charges out of consideration for Danielle, who is still a baby who needs her mother by her side. But instead of gratitude, what's this attitude? You gave up on pressing charges because you couldn't press charges against a family member, not because of your generosity. Who do you think you're kidding? Besides, my mom gave the ring back to you. Then what's the matter with you? What, do you want more after she bought the same ring and handed it to you? It was such an old ring, and I heard she had to travel across the states to get the same one. Isn't that enough for you when such an old lady did that for you? You even told her that I was jealous of you having a wealthy mom and you had a lot to inherit. She said she failed to teach me properly, even as an educator, and declared that she'll disown me from this point on. She said she can't be that mother I want, so she'll let me go. She told me to live on my own and to make sure to pay her back $5,000. How am I supposed to pay her back that much money when I have a child to take care of? I have a college degree, but I barely graduated with a borderline GPA, and I don't have any work experience at all. All I have been doing so far was to support my husband and raise my daughter, which is far from making money. Most importantly, you know all of this, and you still rat on me and cause such pain for me? Well, you should learn how to stand up on your own feet before it's too late. You'll have to live on your own going forward, which means you have to make money by yourself. What kind of nonsense are you talking about? Why are you saying I need to make money by myself? Okay, listen. The entire family, your mother, my husband, and even your husband, went to the jewelry shop where you sold my ring. We asked the owner to see the camera footage explaining to him what was going on, and he let us see it. Well, you were there selling my mom's ring, but surprisingly, you weren't alone. You were holding some guy's hand who was clearly not your husband. Everything was recorded on the camera, from you holding his hand and even kissing him, stepping out of the shop with your hand in his back pocket with a big smile on your face. It was seriously pathetic and ridiculous. All of us were embarrassed for you. I never expected to discover such a dirty secret of yours when I simply wanted to check if I can get my ring back. What? You turned around and cheated on your hard-working, devoted husband with some other guy after dropping off your daughter at school. How vulgar and coarse everything you do is. Don't you feel sorry for your husband who is working day and night for you and your daughter? Isn't it shameful for your daughter who considers her mother to be everything in the world? I heard the one you're having an affair with is the father of a boy in Danielle's classroom. How could you even think about having a relationship with one of the parents? No, I didn't have any kind of relationship. He's just someone I know. I swear I never cheated on my husband or committed adultery. For that part, your husband must have done an extensive investigation and formed a conclusion by now. That can't be possible. He has never shown any indication of feeling suspicious. He is someone who easily displays his emotions, so if something like that were to happen, it would be written all over his face. Unlike someone, parents are willing to do anything and everything for the sake of their children. No matter how weak his disposition may be, he would make all necessary preparations to avoid having his parental rights taken away before dumping you. What did you say? Who does he think he is trying to take my baby away from me when I was the one giving birth to her from my womb? That doesn't make sense. No matter how much he tries, Danielle is mine. She can never be his. What use is there for someone who doesn't even have the qualifications of a mother to imitate motherhood? With no job and even engaging in infidelity, does it seem likely that someone like you would be granted custody? Hey, which side are you on right now? Who am I to be on your side when even your own mother and brother said they'll disown you? I am simply your sister-in-law, and I have no intention of listening to your complaints any longer. I have no intention to help you, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to. After what happened, I heard that Jane eventually became estranged from her own mother and my husband, and that she was divorced by her ex-husband as well. Of course, custody went to the father, and she lost her child. She was forced to work, eat, and sleep in a small restaurant, trying to pay off her debts. She had to work tirelessly to repay her debts to her mother, her ex-husband, and the wife of the guy with whom she had an affair. If she had managed the money wisely provided by her husband and worked hard to raise her child, the outcome would have been completely different. This is the consequence of her own foolish decisions. Thanks for watching! If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. And why not leave us a comment in the comment section down below with all of your thoughts. See you in the next video!
Andrea, do you have a minute? There's something important I want to talk to you about. Hi, Vivian. Ooh, what is it? I saw it. So what? Andrea, I can't believe you do something like that with such an unconcerned look on your face. Do what? What are you talking about? What did you see? I saw you cheating on your husband. What? Last Sunday. Don't tell me you don't remember. Did you think it was okay to do that? Did you? I might have to tell your husband. I've never cheated on my husband, so I don't know what this is about. Really? Well, that's too bad, because I took a picture for proof. So, for you to say you didn't do it would be just a lie. Say whatever you want. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's what anyone who got caught cheating would say. So, anyway, I think $10,000 would be fine. $10,000. For me to keep my mouth shut? Oh, what are you talking about? For me to not tell your husband what you're doing? Unless you want your husband finding out, you'd better pay that much. It's a good deal, don't you think? Oh, well, I'm not cheating on my husband, so I don't know what kind of game you're playing here, but I'm not paying you $10,000 for anything. In that case, I'm gonna tell your husband. Do whatever you want. Wow, you're more stubborn than I thought, huh? You probably think I'm bluffing about that picture, but I'm not. So what are you gonna do? I'm not doing anything. I've never cheated, so I've got no reason to meet your demands. You better think about what's gonna happen if you don't. I'll give you till this weekend to get the money ready. Don't think I'll wait any longer than that. Kyle, are you done work?
Yeah, I just finished. What's up? I think something strange is going on. Huh? What do you mean? What happened? You know that woman who lives 3 houses down from us, right? Yeah, Vivian, right? You've told me about her. Well, she messaged me today, and how do I say this? She said she saw me cheating, and I don't know what she's talking about. Cheating? Like with another man? You? Yeah, I have no idea what she's talking about, but that's what she said. You? Cheating? I'd never believe it, not in a million years. She must have been smoking crack or something. Oh, you're making me laugh too hard. I'm on the subway platform waiting for the train. Stop it. People will think I'm crazy. Don't laugh, it's not funny. She told me I better pay her $10,000 if I wanted to keep her mouth shut. What? 10K? Yeah, she says she's got a picture to prove it. I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't sound like she's joking. Sorry for laughing earlier. Oh, don't worry about that. I'm just glad that you know I wouldn't do anything like that. Well, obviously. I've known you since we were kids. I know you're not the type of person to betray anyone, especially not me. Thanks, I needed to hear that from you now. So, what else did Vivian say? She said she saw me do it last Sunday. Last Sunday? There was like 1 hour when you went out alone, but other than that, we were together all day. Yeah, I know. So I don't know what the heck she's talking about. She wouldn't listen to anything I had to say. Honestly, I'm a little scared. When I get home, tell me exactly what happened. Just in case, lock the doors and don't go outside until I get there. Okay, I'll do that. You be careful on your way home, too. Hello, Andrea. It looks like you had some really expensive meat delivered over there today, huh? I saw the truck. You're gonna share some of that with me too, right? Hurry up and bring some of it over here. I'll be waiting. What are you talking about all of a sudden? The meat was from one of my husband's friends. He's a butcher. It was a gift. I can't just give you some. It was a gift to my husband, not to me. Oh, it was for your husband, huh? But your husband isn't home yet, now is he? You can just tell him it was never delivered or it fell off the back of the truck. Any old lie will do, right? Let's have an expensive steak party at my house and we'll destroy the evidence together. That way you can be sure, right? I have no idea what you're saying right now. Hurry up and give it to me. Give it to you? What the... What's wrong with you lately? First you demanded $10,000 from me. Now you want our meat? You get it, don't you? If you don't want me telling your husband what you did, you'll have to do whatever I say. I was nice enough to give you time to get the 10K ready for me, wasn't I? Which I'm still waiting on, by the way. If you don't want to make me angry, you'd better start doing what I say. Are you telling me that you want me to give you our meat so you shut up about this cheating thing? I don't really have to tell you, do I? So what are you going to do? If you don't want your husband to know, you better give me that meat and the $10,000. Oh, and one more thing. There's a new purse at the mall that I'm dying to have. I've already reserved one. It's only $500. You can pay for that for me as well. Now it's a bag you want? Of course. I'm not going to pass up an opportunity like this. I'm going to milk it as much as I can. What are you talking about? I've got no reason to do any of this. Huh? I really didn't want to have to say this to you, but I'm tired of all this. The day you supposedly caught me cheating, I was with my husband all day. What? If you want to be exact, I went to my parents' house in the morning by myself for an hour. I wasn't with my husband, but my parents can both vouch for where I was that hour. So how on earth could I have been cheating on my husband? I figured you'd say something like that. But I told you, I have proof. I've got a picture. I'll give you one more chance. Otherwise, I'm not just going to tell your husband you were cheating. I'm going to tell your boyfriend too. So, let's talk about what you're going to do. Are you going to do what I told you to do, or am I going to tell your husband what you did? Those are your only two options. And either way, it looks like I'll benefit. I'm tired of doing this with you, okay? I'll bite. Let me ask, who exactly is this man I'm cheating with? If you can tell me that, then I'll know you've got the proof. Aha! You're shameless. You don't even think you're cheating, do you? I guess people who cheat don't think they're cheating because they love the person they cheat with. Is that it? I don't know how a cheater's mind works. If you're not even aware you're cheating, I guess I'll have to prove it to you. The person you're cheating with is Mr. Evans from down the street. Huh? Mr. Evans. Poor Mrs. Evans. She has no idea what you're doing with her husband when she's away. I saw you go over to his house. He opened the door and you walked right in. I saw it. That's it. Not just that. I know his wife had just left the house before you went over there. That's as much proof as anyone needs. I think you need a little more proof than that before you jump to conclusions. Well, I already know. I suspected it long before I saw that. I can't blame you, though. I mean, he looks rich. I can't blame any woman for wanting him. I understand. I do. Well, anyway, because of that, how about you and him talk about this and let's all come to a conclusion about how we're going to proceed. Vivian, can I talk to you for a minute? Sure. Did you talk to Mr. Evans? Yes, I did. Good. Finally, you're behaving and doing what I told you to do. You should have just done that from the start. Okay, I'm going to tell you what we've decided. Well, first just tell me when you're giving me the 10K and all that meat. I'm not cheating on my husband. Uh-huh. Mr. Evans isn't cheating either. What are you talking about? Oh, don't tell me that you're still going to play innocent at this stage in the game, are you? This is too comical. Vivian, I'm not done talking yet. Oh, yeah, sorry. It's getting really interesting now. I want to hear this. I won't interrupt again. Please, continue. First, as for me and Mr. Evans, he and his wife happen to be really good friends with one of our friends. That's why we've started hanging around them a lot recently. Uh-huh. And as for the day you think you saw me cheating, Kyle and I were invited over there because it was their daughter's birthday, and my kids are around her age. Birthday? But I had to go to my parents' house that morning. My husband and kids went over to Mr. Evans' house without me. I went to Mr. Evans' house on the way back from my parents' place. That's why you saw me go there alone. I guess that was right after Mrs. Evans left to go get the birthday cake from the bakery. I'd already been invited and the party had already started. That's why he let me into his house so quickly. He must have just happened to see me at that moment. I don't know how you could have missed everything else. But that's... So when you saw me go into his house, my whole family was already there. I wasn't even alone with him. There's no way it was cheating. But... And if you were really watching me so intently, how did you not notice Mrs. Evans come back with the birthday cake while I was still in the house? And how did you not see me leave the house with my whole family? Well, so that's what happened, huh? I see. It was all just a big misunderstanding. Okay, well, I don't want to cause any more problems, so I'll let you get back to what you were doing. Oh, you think this is all over now? Yeah, problem solved. Everything is all figured out now. Sorry for the inconvenience. Well, I apologize, so that's the end of that. I spoke to Mr. Evans. You know, like you told me to do yesterday. Vivian, I heard you've been talking with Mr. Evans about this as well. He told me you threatened to tell his wife he was cheating if he didn't pay you $50,000. And something about if he divorces his wife and marries you, you wouldn't tell anyone.
No, that was,
That's more than a little strange. You weren't just asking him for money. Does your husband know about this? You didn't just want a little cash, you were trying to marry into wealth, weren't you?
It's no big deal. Nothing came of it, so don't worry about it. Let's just forget about this and move on, shall we? If word gets around, it could cause problems around here with the neighbors, don't you think?
Do you really think after this your relationship with the neighbors isn't going to change?
Huh?
Do you think your husband's not going to know about this? Oh, and the place you work? Did you know that Mr. Evans' father works as a subcontractor for your company? Not only is he really well liked by the higher-ups at your company, but he has many good friends on the board of directors there too.
What? Really?
When Mr. Evans tells his father about this, I don't think he's gonna just let this go.
I didn't know that. Hold on.
So, about this incident, when word of what Vivian had done reached her company, she was let go. No real reason was given, and she didn't get a cent in severance or anything. Her husband found out about her plot to marry Mr. Evans and was so upset with her that he divorced her. When he left, he took full custody of their child as well. I considered filing a police report about how she had tried to scam Mr. Evans and me out of money, but my husband was concerned about Vivian's child's future if her mother had a criminal record. And because she was just jumping to conclusions and no money or goods were ever given to her. My husband persuaded me not to press charges, but we did get a restraining order on her to make sure she stayed far away from us. Along with that, we found out that Vivian had accumulated a large amount of debt. Her husband didn't even know anything about it. I guess she was too embarrassed to tell him. That's why she was desperate to get people to pay her money. After Vivian's husband left, Vivian moved back in with her parents. That's when we heard that Vivian's debts apparently weren't with a bank or any reputable firm. That's why the debt wasn't on the books and her husband didn't know about it. Of course, we only found this out after what happened next. I heard some really scary debt collectors showed up at her parents' house. They were demanding that Vivian pay them back what she owed them or else. They made it clear they didn't want any trouble with Vivian's parents, but if Vivian didn't pay, she'd be sorry. Now, Vivian spends every day locked up in her parents' house, afraid to go outside, thinking that the debt collectors might be somewhere waiting for her. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please press the like button. See you next time.